We are speaking to Swedish companies in Poland about how they are coping with the corona situation and our new reality. Some companies are struggling very hard, some companies are getting back to normality, but I think we can all agree on the fact that we have a lot of hard work in front of us. Today we are at the Embassy of Sweden in Warsaw, and I have the pleasure to speak with Martinem Mellorem, country manager at Ericsson in Poland. Nice to see you, Martin, after so many months.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Great to be here.
Thanks. And Swedish companies all over the world have been very heavily affected by the pandemic situation that we are all living in now. How has Ericsson been impacted by this situation, and how are you handling the crisis that we have been in and are still in?
Well, Ericsson's management has been clear from the start of the coronavirus, and that has been the well-being and safety of our employees, their families, our customers and partners are of utmost importance. And Ericsson was early on to recommend employees to work from home. So we had 85,000 employees transition to working from home almost overnight. And our IT systems allowed this to happen without any problems. We will retain this same position that employees are recommended to work from home unless business critical for the remainder of 2020 as well. In Poland, in mid-March, then we made the same recommendation to employees to work from home unless business critical. And during this time and today, we do have some engineers working in the field, modernising, maintaining mobile telecommunications networks, but the vast majority of our employees continue to work from home. Those that come to the office, we have some new ways of working, we have social distancing and other restrictions, but in general, the business has continued well, and rather than having face-to-face meetings with our customers, we now have meetings over Teams. So we don't stop the work, it's just in a different environment and a different way for people. And locally, we've tried to help out with the hospitals as well. Our engineers were very creative and innovative, using 3D printers to create face masks at the start of the pandemic. And today we continue to provide PPE equipment to hospitals as well.
And speaking about working from home, most of us are actually working from home, and in connection with that, it's easy to assume that the telecommunication industry must have a huge role in this when we are all working from home. How do you see this role, and how have you at Ericsson utilized this, that a lot of people are working from home?
Well, I agree with you, and the telecommunications industry has been crucial in these coronavirus times. And it really does demonstrate that telecommunications networks are critical national infrastructure. The importance of strong, reliable communications network has never been greater. And our solutions have enabled families, citizens, public health officials, businesses in all parts of the world to stay connected. And there's been some amazing transformations. We've seen data traffic transition from being generally in business areas to residential areas within 2 or 3 days. And at the same time, the data traffic has increased by 20%, voice traffic by 50%. And all of this has been achieved without any service degradation. So the telecommunications networks have been resilient during these coronavirus times.
And also helpful.
Well, naturally, businesses have completely changed their way of working, and they could not have done this without telecommunications networks providing the same coverage that they have been doing today in the residential areas that they have been previously in the business areas.
So countries and economies all over the world have been affected. From an economical point of view, from a social point of view, And a lot of countries can really define this as a deep crisis. At the same time, you have been actively for many years now working on the 5G development, and it's now launching in Poland and all over the world. How do you believe that the 5G development will actually help countries, companies, economies to get back on their feet quicker than they would have without 5G?
Well, Daniel, I think that the best way to answer this is through a consumer lab survey that Ericsson has done in 11 countries, where we've asked exactly this question related to 5G and coronavirus. And in this consumer lab survey, respondents have replied, 60% responded that they believe a more advanced 5G network could have contributed to a better response to coronavirus. And even though 5G is still not available in many countries, then 20% of the correspondents said that they would upgrade to a 5G subscription so they're better prepared for the eventuality of any future crisis. And I think that's really interesting that consumers all over the world are seeing that 5G can bring a benefit when you have such problems facing society. And with the importance of 5G, it's really important that governments all over the world see that investing in 5G can help revive economies of the world.
Can you give some specific examples of applications or other solutions connected to 5G that will actually support us to getting back?
Sure. In this same survey, that question was asked, and 40% of correspondents saw that 5G and new technologies associated with 5G would bring benefits to the society. And examples that they were talking about were immersive technologies, AR, VR technologies, robotics, and other remote controlled devices that can help safeguard frontline workers. So they were examples that they came out with. Now in Poland, we're working very closely with Łódź Special Economic Zone. And here we are working with startups and with enterprises so that they can realize the benefits of 5G in their business. Now 5G will bring 10 times faster data rates and higher connectivity and lower latency, and this will enable smart manufacturing for sure. And this will eventually mean flexible wireless assembly lines, and it will also mean lower cost, wider scale robotics as artificial intelligence is able to move from the local device into the cloud. Now with Łódź Special Economic Zone, we're also working with startups that are developing applications for COVID-19. And Ericsson is partnering with 5 startups using our R&D expertise to support them in these initiatives. And one is very interesting. It's called MediBot, and it's a remote nurse that's able to provide some remote services to patients, including video consultations.
So we speak a lot about connectivity, which is one of the core values of Ericsson and the business idea, but also sustainability is very important for you. How can you, with the 5G development, also drive the sustainability work in Poland?
Well, empowering an intelligent, sustainable and connected world is what Ericsson does.
Yeah.
And the benefits of 5G will help everybody in society, whether it's remote healthcare or smart grids, connected vehicles, smart waste, bringing smart cities to our countries. And this is going to help all of society as we make this change, but we must do it in a sustainable way. And we aim to quadruple the capacity of the current mobile networks, but with the same power consumption. And in this sense, we can help the development of Poland in a sustainable way.
We really look forward to seeing these implementations as 5G develops in Poland. Thank you, Martin, for taking your time to speak with us. And Swedish companies in Poland are very important to us, and the Embassy of Sweden in Poland is working actively on supporting Swedish companies here, both in these extraordinary times which we have now, but we are always here for you. Thank you so much.